Their work is just impressive, really astonishing. I just passed like 5 minutes there. You have a lot of dust because of how they crush the rocks. You're very dirt, so that's very dangerous. That's not really good for the health. But you have maybe the reward of getting an emerald, and that's what drives them a lot. This is so impressive.
I'm inside an illegal tunnel, 30 meters under the black rock of the Colombian mountains. The heat is suffocating, the dust is everywhere. In 30 seconds, I was completely soaked. And I'm standing here asking myself, why do hundreds of people do this every single day with no guarantee of finding anything? To answer that, we need to go back 10 years. The emeralds of Muzo. People say they're the most beautiful emeralds in the world. A green that can turn electric, almost bluish, or on the contrary deep, dark like a dense forest. Not to look alike. And for years, this stone fascinated me. The first time I wanted to go, it was 10 years ago, during my first backpacking trip through South America. I was passing close through Medellin, but still too far, too complicated to get there. The second time, I was a student exchange in Colombia, in Medellin again. Muzo was on my list, but there was too much else to do, so I never made it. And the third time that was the one. Back on a backpacking trip, this time Muzo was on my list and on my route. I started the trip from Bogota, and if you're passing through Bogota, the Museo del Oro, the Gold Museum, is a must. You'll see incredible pieces with emeralds set into them. Stones so big they take your breath away. I'd never seen anything like it. And you realize that during the Spanish colonization, they took everything. And right next to it, there are shops where you can already buy some. Beautiful ones, actually. All mounted on rings or pendants. Exceptional pieces, a little bit expensive, but way less than you'd find them in Europe or in North America. I wanted mine raw or cut, but not mounted. For that, I had to go to Muzo. And above all, I wanted to see where all this came from. I wanted to go to the source. I wrote a full article about my trip to Muzo on my website, horizontogo.com. You'll find all the practical information there. The link is in the description. To get to Muzo, I took a van from Bogota to Chiquinquirá, then another van to Muzo. And the road was something else. On the right, a rock wall. On the left, a drop of several hundred meters. The road is narrow, the turns are tight, and the driver completely relaxed, like it was the most normal road in the world. Colombia is full of magnificent valleys, but driving through them is a whole other story. Muzo is a classic Colombian mountain town. Green valleys all around, 20 to 30 streets crossing in a grid, a church at the center of its main square, like everywhere in Colombia. Except here, everything revolves around one single thing, the emerald. On the main squares, miners and buyers trade directly. In the shops, there are emeralds everywhere. Every conversation, every business, every resident, everything is tied to the green stone. Most people who live here are miners or work with emeralds in some way. It's rare to see a town this single-minded. Everyone lives off the same thing, depends on the same thing. It's both beautiful and a little unsettling. What happens the day the emeralds run out? When I arrived, I found this hotel run by George, or Jorge. A simple hotel, you sleep, that's it. But Jorge himself was anything but simple. He's the one who offered me the visit that nobody officially offers. A full day in the mines. The real ones, the illegal ones. Let's be clear, there are almost no tourists in Muzo. You won't find this tour on TripAdvisor. But if you ask, if you take the time to talk to people, you can find it. Jorge is the proof. And that's what I love about this kind of travel. The best stuff is never in a guidebook. It's in the conversation you have with the guy running your $10 hotel room. In the morning, in Muzo, everyone leaves for work at the same time. Same outfit, boots, thick pants, machete on the belt. Some go to the official mines run by the big companies. Others, the one we're about to see, work for themselves. More or less. And me, standing there in the middle with my tourist bag, I was wondering what I was actually about to see. We jumped on a motor with Jorge and headed down to the valley, the mining valley.
So we just arrived right now at one of the valleys where you have all the people going there to search for some esmeralda. And this is not from the company itself. You have some, you can see like stuff from the company. But what we're gonna see right now, this is like the people from the villages that come here by themselves to find esmeraldas. So after, I don't know, after 30 minutes of motor riding in the beautiful valley in Muzo and after Kipama. We are here now in Kipama, and so right now we're gonna go down to the river to see what we can find. Let's go. So for example, just there you have one entrance of the mine. This is artisanal, this is not made by the company, so this is a little bit more dangerous. You have another one just there, you have another one a bit more there, and people just go there, get some works there, and come back and try to find some esmeraldas. This is impressive, really, wow.
Their goal is simple, is to find veins of white quartz inside the rock, because inside those white veins, if they're lucky, there is emerald.
In the mines, the miners are looking, well, not for the black rock, but for the white one. Inside the white one, you will have probably some esmeralda. Not here because it's too small and they already looked at it, but inside the mines, that's what you look for. You have all these black rocks and you will have some white lines, that's the crystal. And those crystals are formed because of the pressure. And the harder the pressure and some temperatures and some other elements will create esmeraldas. So basically you brought back those rocks, you crush them to find if you have inside some green rocks, aka some esmeraldas. That's a hard work, a very hard one, and very dirty one. You can see my hands right now. And let's see how you get those rocks out of the mine. We're gonna go inside and see what it is.
Jorge offered to let me go down the mine. I did not hesitate, that's why I came here. The wooden ladder barely holds. The tunnel is small. You have to crouch. It's hot, it's humid. Wow.
Hay que bajar por acá. Ya la escaleta y ahí llega.
There are two miners at the bottom. One has an electric jackhammer powered by a generator outside. it makes an insane noise, both inside and out. He breaks the rock, and it creates incredible amount of dust. The other one picks things up and look. The moment he sees white, he shifts more carefully to search for green. They switch every 30 minutes to an hour. I stayed 5 minutes, and it was already very rough. 5 minutes. They do this 8 hours a day, in that dust, in the heat, bent over. I'm not going to lie, I felt a little ashamed walking out that fast.
So right there, for example, they are creating a new tunnel, so it's going to be new, but it's quite impressive.
Right next to it, there was a collapsed tunnel, a cave-in. And what struck me, nobody had stopped digging. On the contrary, a collapse means new work. New work means new chances. They had already started a new tunnel right beside it. And that's the logic of Muzo. Danger doesn't discourage people, it draws them in. And I found myself asking, is it courage or is it necessity? Because when you have no other option, taking risks looks a lot more like survival than bravery. All these mines I was visiting with Jorge, they're illegal. Officially, the big mining companies hold the rights to this land. But there is an unspoken agreement. A few months before my visit, the main local company had stopped redistributing land to residents so they could work. So the locals started mining directly on the company's land. The company doesn't press charges, they have other richer zones to exploit. And the miners do what they can. The system is broken. Everyone knows it. But it holds because everyone finds something in it. Or because nobody has the means to change it. I'll let you decide what you think about that. If this kind of travel speaks to you, like and subscribe. It genuinely helps me keep documenting places like this that nobody else is filming. We get back on the moto, we go down a little further, and then something pretty striking appears.
And so this is another way of finding Esmeralda, because this is very old rocks, so old that it's not that hard or something like that. I can't explain to you exactly why, but so it's much more easier to find Esmeralda because you can just throw water there, and hopefully you throw water there, and hopefully there you will find some Esmeralda inside the rocks. This is another process. This is quite impressive, but also feels very dangerous because you can see that they are removing all the earth, and just above you have more earth, you have trees. Right now they're cutting a tree down there because it's fell.
It's visually striking, almost beautiful in a way. And then you realize that you're actually looking at a man tearing apart a cliff by hand, hoping to find something a mining company already searched 40 years ago. And at the top of the cliff, buildings. Old abandoned company buildings. At the rate of this cliff is eroding, in a few months from now those buildings are going to come down. The company extracted what it wanted, abandoned the buildings, abandoned the land. And now the locals are picking up the scraps, literally, on land that doesn't even officially belong to them. Is it exploitation? Is it some kind of unspoken solidarity? Is it the company doing a good thing but looking on the other way? Or is it just washing its hand of a problem by leaving people to figure it out? What Jorge explained to me, this land was already processed by the company 30 or 40 years ago. The chances of finding high quality emeralds here are low, but not zero. And for these people, not zero is enough. Not zero. That might be the phrase that best sums up Muzo.
like you have landslide that happens at the same time. So you have to be very careful. Apparently, a few weeks ago, 2 women died there because of a landslide.
And that legal void, it's comfortable for everyone except them. The company avoids the conflict, the government avoids the problem, and the miners have no protection, no safety net. They exist in the system blind spot, and the system knows it perfectly well.
Es difícil, pero cuando son grandes se ven.
Sí.
Hay veces no. Esmeraldas así grandes.
Sí, aquí se busca, si no hay nada. Es mucho entonces, ¿no? No es nada. Es nada. Es poco, sí.
Poquito.
This whole coast there from the river is being worked by the people to like crush this whole land trying to find some emerald. This is very impressive. You don't have just like one team, you have maybe 15 or 20 small team of 5, 10 people working on their own small parcel trying to find some emerald. Right there we have a man that showed us his emerald from the day. There was quite a lot for me, but for him there was not enough because there are 6, 7 working there right now, so you need to find more emerald. That's very impressive. Also something interesting for the equality, let's say, is that women and men work same amount of hours, same thing, everything, because it's just upon yourself if you want to work and try to find emeralds. That may not be the best work, but you have a lot of men and a lot of women here working.
We walk down the Rio Mineiro, the mining river, literally. A bridge, houses clinging to the slope, and then the view opens up. Hundreds of people in the river, on the banks, on every square meter available. And I stopped, because it's not what you expect to see. No tuners, no machines, hundreds of people in a river, by hand, like we're back in the 19th century.
All this that you can see right now, this is a landslide that happened really few days ago. So all this earth is new, kind of, and so that's why you have so many people right now searching for emerald.
And I had this strange feeling, almost uncomfortable, because I was here for the emeralds too. I didn't come to help, I came to see, to buy, to film. Am I really that different from them? This landslide, by the way, is partially their own doing. Years of eroding the ground underneath, and at some point the pressure gives, the mountain collapses. Nobody was hurt, it happened at night, but the house was gone. That's the paradox of Muzo. To survive, they destroy the ground they live on. They know it causes landslides. They keep going anyway, because the alternative is what? Not eating?
And there you can really see well the house that has been crushed, destroyed by the landslide. You still have it's not the ceiling, the bottom. You can still see the bottom of the house. This is very impressive.
And here you can see all the levels of resources. The better equipped ones have small machines to separate materials. The less equipped ones have a really thin net. They fill it up, run it through the river, wash, and look. They look for the green stone.
Just there next to the river you have the more traditional way, the one that doesn't have a motor to find emeralds. You just have like a net, really thin one, and you will plunge like a bag of rocks, trying to get away the big rocks and trying to find some emeralds there.
And then there was this grandmother in the river with a shovel. She dug, spread it on ground, looked quickly, no green, and she started again. I watched that grandmother for a long time. I didn't know what to feel. Admiration, sadness, a little bit both at the same time, I think. She had this incredible dignity in what she was doing, but nobody should have to do that at her age.
The good part is that here everyone has a smile and everyone like try to work hard, but there's no big competition or just like it's the whole village that's here trying to get away with money, with emerald first and after money. And this is a hard work, but at least they have the smile, which this it's invaluable. But it is so hard to see all those workers working like that. It is so impressive.
And honestly, it's easy to judge from the outside, to say, how did things get to this point? And why isn't the government doing anything? Those are legitimate questions, but when you're standing there in front of these people, what you feel isn't anger, it's something greater, heavier.
And so we just came back from the whole mine. This is like 30 minutes from Muzo, and right now we just had a beautiful and really good lunch on a beautiful point of view of Muzo, like right now. You can see that, just amazing how it is, so beautiful right there. And actually I was ready to say that the tour is finished and that now we will go to Muzo, to the city, to find some emerald and buy some. And that's what we're gonna do, but not now, because the tour actually is not finished. I thought we would finish with the lunch, but right now there we are. We also have some mines here, because the whole region here has mines a bit everywhere. It's full of emerald, but it's difficult to reach them. And there where we've seen a lot of people, that's where you have the most dense earth with emerald. But there you have a mine, and we're gonna explore it. And we maybe gonna dig a little bit. I've seen they have the big electric tools that we've seen in the first tunnel, so maybe we're gonna use them. So let's see. That will be our way to finish the tour, I think.
I needed that because honestly, after the river, after the tunnels, after all seeing these people working in the mud, I was a little emotionally saturated. It's a lot to process in just a few hours.
Cuando comenzamos a hacer ya trabajo, porque ya está deteriorado.
Wow. Y aquí entonces se llama el túnel de la
Esperanza. Es que se nos cayó en
So maybe we're gonna find some esmeralda right now. We're gonna go to an old tunnel that a dueño, an owner here, used to dig by himself with no electric tools or whatsoever. And now the family here can explore it and show a little bit to the tourists, me. And so we're gonna try maybe to find some emerald, who knows? But at least to see a little bit how it looks like, what it's like, and to dig a little bit to see how hard it is. We've seen it this morning, I've seen it, But now we really gonna experience it. I hope you guys ready. We're gonna go again in the tunnel in the dark. ¿Ya vamos?
Vamos. Y todo, en todo lo amarillo es dióxido de hierro, la tierra. Normalmente, pues nosotros lo tenemos pues como para mostrar y pues cuando lo traímos estaba bueno, ¿sí me entiendes? Pero como esto es hierro, o sea,
con la oxidación y todo eso.
A la medida que vamos pues, entrando, se va viendo pues...
Ah, sí, aquí hay una buena formación.
Sí, una buena formación donde pues... arriba.
¿Cristal?
La pura... O sea, se deslíe solita.
There was a little bit of green. Sometimes you have a bit of green, but this is just the color a little bit and the crystal, but it's not yet emerald. You still need like millions, maybe not millions, but thousands of years before you have a true emerald there. So it means that you may have some, but what we see right now so far, it's the formation, the about to become an emerald, which is already so cool.
Mi hermano y yo, fui yo,
No dimos la afuera.
fui yo, fui yo, fui yo, fui yo.
Bravo, chévere. Aquí también un poco.
Sí, o sea, tocas partirla o una de dos partes. Mira, o sea, afuera miramos.
Mira, te puedo enseñar eso. Mira, mira.
And then everything changed.
Yeah, nice.
Coila.
Bien hecho.
We found a few emeralds, very thin, not pure, not worth much. But the feeling of finding them, it's unreal.
Oh. All right now we just get out of the tunnel. We've walked a lot. Now we have some rocks. We found already a few of them with crystals, not emerald or really tiny one, which is kind of cool. But right now we're gonna do also the washing part, as we've seen also in the river right now, where we have a lot of rocks, a lot of sand into a really tiny net, and we're gonna wash it just there. And now you search for small green piece. See? Oh wow!
Mira.
After half an hour, I didn't want to stop. I wanted to keep going. More, just a little more, because the stone might be right there, 1 centimeter further into the rock. It's crazy. It's addictive, genuinely addictive. 2 hours earlier, I couldn't understand why so many people were on their hands and knees in the dark. And there I was, at the bottom of an unlit tunnel, dripping with sweat, and I still don't want to leave. If I had grown up here, if I hadn't had the options I had, would I have done the same? Honestly, I think I would.
And I think this is kind of a vicious circle, you know, because my guy told me that once they find a really beautiful emerald that has a high quality, it happens, not a lot of times, but it happens. This is the type of emerald that you can change your life with, you know. But unfortunately, people with that kind of emerald will sell it for a very good price, but with that money they will throw a party, they will drink alcohol, maybe try to buy some stuff for the house, but very soon they will lack money again and they will have to go back to the mines to find some emerald. So they don't have the knowledge to invest and to try to ramp up a little bit their lives. So that's the shame a little bit about this life. There's no moral out of it. It's just the ways they're living, searching, trying to find a good emerald, getting some money and spending it instead of trying to change the jobs they have.
And here, careful. It's easy to judge from the outside. Easy to say, invest, think about tomorrow. But your entire life has been a series of days with no guarantee. Do you really think about tomorrow? Or do you enjoy the today you finally have? I'm not giving an answer, but it's the most important question of this whole day. Let me know what you think in the comments. Jorge did things differently. Before he was a miner, he knew all the miners' recourse paths that day. He worked in the tunnels, in the valley, and at some point he decided to stop. Today he has his hotel. Simple, not luxurious, but it's his. He does guided tours for the rare travelers who make it this far, just like me. He doesn't need to go to the mines anymore. And what's interesting is that Jorge didn't leave Muzo. He didn't say, I'm out, I'm starting over somewhere else. He took what he knew, the mines, the valley, the history, and made something else out of it. He just changed his relationship with the stone. Can everyone do that? No, clearly not. You need a hotel, you need clients, you need to talk to strangers without fear. Jorge has qualities not everyone has. But it also made a choice anyone can make, deciding that his life is worth more than the next emerald. That evening, I wanted to buy some emeralds, since I hadn't found any worth keeping myself. I walked into one of the few shops that exist here. Andres and his family lives off emeralds. A guy from Muzo with his family who has encyclopedic knowledge on the subject. Even though his display cases are full of beautiful stones, raw or cut, most of them were found by him and his brother, right there in the mining valley. He was actually there today, at the same spot as me, where the houses collapsed. I bought several stones, at a fair price, the price of someone who made the trip, not the tourist price from buying online with no idea what you're getting. Some of them I had made into rings and necklace, some I resell. I still have few left. I'm really happy to still have those souvenirs with me. And honestly, holding those stones in my hand after that day felt different. I knew what it had cost to get them out on the ground, not for me, for them. It changes how you look at the stone. And if that interests you, an emerald from Muzo, bought directly at the source by someone who went underground to understand what it actually means, reach out to my website and the link is in the description. Maybe you can get one of them. It's also a concrete way to support what I do. The travel, the documentation, the videos. Every stone bought means the next trip is possible, a next story to tell. So if you want to be part of that, you know where to find me. And even if you don't buy anything, the next time you see an emerald in a jewelry store, maybe you'll think about the river, about those hard-working miners, about the grandmother with her shovel, about the black tunnels. That might be the real thing to take away from this video. Some trips change you. Muzo is one of them. I left with a 10-year dream and the desire to find a beautiful green stone. I came back with something bigger. An understanding of what hope means when it's the only thing you have. What it costs to dig every day without knowing if it's worth anything. To find even a small stone, even one worth nothing, when you dug it for yourself. For those who want a real adventure, Muzo is it. Zero tourists, real people, as curious about you as you are about them. A town that lives for one single thing and lets you see all sides of it. The beautiful, the hard, and the human. You'll remember it for the rest of your life, especially if you live with an emerald in your pocket. All the practical info, how to get to Muzo, where to stay, what to bring, is on our website on the dedicated post about Muzo. And if you have questions, the comments are there, and you can also contact me on Instagram at HorizonHugo. And to come back to the question at the start, why do hundreds of people risk their lives in the dark every day for a stone they may never find? Because hope is addictive. And sometimes, just sometimes, it's green.
And yeah, that's the small hard truth here, is that the emerald you'll find sometimes, either they come from the companies or they come from the people here that have a very hard life. That's not an easy one, but
No?
hey, ciao. But still, that's the incredible thing about South America, is that people that have nothing are the ones that smile the most. And this is my moral, I would say, the one that I will have to work on that, and maybe Western people have to work on that, because when you look at that, they have literally nothing, but what they all have is a smile, and that's quite impressive.